am I watching anime about schoolgirls? That's my
Why
thing.
aren't you? That's a real question. Why aren't you, huh? Too afraid
Because
to
I have.
confront your feminine side? Huh?
Oh, what feminine
To well,
side?
I know it's not
I'm
even that
married.
feminine, but you know,
I'm
the
married to a woman, Jonathan. Trust me, I have a feminine side. You know.
it's very hard to remember that when we see each other in person, Mike. Your luggage definitely says that. Oh, I've definitely got a feminine side here.
What are you implying, Jonathan? Are you implying that I have to have clean luggage to have a feminine side? Are you? Is that what you're
It would
implying?
help with the sense. Well, you know, they say um, that the mindset is much more organized with a more feminine way
Mm,
of thinking. That's one thing to say,
okay, we'll leave it at that
I
before I get you
suppose.
in trouble, John. Get out of that topic. But game number 2 about to get underway. We do have everything done. The game 2 is starting. John, you know how it is. I'm going to give you time to get your predictions out as well. The viewers want to hear you were right with every single prediction in that last game.
Wow.
So let's
Yes.
see if you can keep that 100% streak going. What's the predictions for
All
today?
right. Let's get this done. Player with the highest total physical damage done to heroes at game end. I would want to say Natsumi. Total number of player deaths by 25. 16 to 25 sounds right. First player to get 15 denies. Oh, that's a toughie. Lelouch, probably. How long will the game be? Oh, wow. This is hyper specific. 37 to 44. That's it.
Okay, thank you for that, John. Bit of a smoke on smoke scenario going on here, but just for the warding. No biggie. Neither team probably wants to go for a level 1 team fight. Not the greatest level 1 team fight lineups. See what they do end up doing. I mean, pretty much every game we've seen in this patch has been just go for the bounties and run back to your lanes. We don't get to see much of that that team fighty style of starts that we love seeing, sadly. Too
Not
much
as
impact with
much.
these first kills.
Some teams are still fond of it. Polaris certainly one of those teams that can push the envelope. I feel like the level 1 of NGX is a little bit stronger. They've certainly got more disables on hand. It's much easier to punish. Save is just taking a peek. Up top, you're also kind of taking a peek with AU and Lelouch, but Mizu's not going to hang around for too long. Could be a 3-for-1 here for Polaris if they do force this.
They will try. Boomboy does manage to pick it up, but it's still going to be a 2-for-2 trade. So very, very even start once again. Again, nobody really wanting to get too involved in an early team fight here. I believe it was only the Marcy that took some damage. Let's start off with that mid lane as we do. Alacrity, of course, going to be on that mid Batrider against Lelouch on the mid Quap. Quap versus Batrider, John. Who has the advantage based off the hero matchups?
We've seen a lot of Batrider players actually run down the Quap here. Quaps are generally apprehensive of going for the early levels in Blink. Lelouch should have a pretty decent time if Alacrity stands too close and doesn't harass enough to play with a Shadow Strike. So he's trading fairly nicely. I mean, both of them are half HP, and Lelouch only has to expend that one use of Shadow Strike, although he has to watch himself. Should be overall a bit easier for Alacrity, but again, the Quap has a little bit of play, but Batrider tends to have a better time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I suppose you've always got the blink away, though, to be fair, Lelouch hasn't scored it up yet. In fact, Alacrity going to really give it back to the Queen of Pain. A very fun time, but now with the level 2 mark on Lelouch, he knows he can survive as long as he's got that blink up. Look at that top lane, perhaps. Of course, you're going to have Natsumi and AU against Jokam and Mizu. Interesting lane here for Mizu and Jokam. It doesn't seem like the worst lane in the world. Not really too much kill potential here between the Oracle and the Luna, I would argue. Mind you, once you do hit level 3 on the Oracle with the level 2 Purifying Flames, it is a hell of a lot of damage. That's probably going to be your opening. But I dare say NGXSEA should have more kill potential in the off lane than Polaris does in their safe lane.
Oh, for sure. You feel pretty good here for Mizu. You've got set from the Shaker if you need to kind of line up your spear. And you've got a pretty good range advantage in the God's Rebuke. Natsumi's attack range is lower than the cast range of God's Rebuke, so you can kind of harass pretty well. No tree line, though, completely cut off. So it is harder to find that latch here from Mizu. And Jokam, once more, on a greedier 4, is just going for the creep pull. You can't really stop it. Jokam just wants to level it up, and that is something the Shaker kind of does. The same way as the Nyx did in the last game. You will want to kind of steal a wave away every now and again.
Yeah. And of course, that final lane, of course, the bottom lane, you're going to have Force there. and Xavius against In Your Dream and Boomboy. This lane's an interesting one as well, right? Because it feels like both sides have the kill potential, and there you go. Xavius, he'll make the jump in onto Boomboy. No disruption available for another 3 seconds. Boomboy eventually going to drop. Force able to secure first blood off the back of Xavius with a great initiation.
Yep, you get a nice kill built up for Force. Gets level 3 now. Level 2 Siphon, and In Your Dream can't run if he's not careful.
I just suppose it's very, very well placed. In Your Dream still trying to run, barely making it out. Xavius, he wants the kill so bad. He just cannot reach. Now Boomboy looking to punish the Marcy. Shadow Poison? No, he's not going to throw another one out. He'll let him go. In Your Dream, to be fair, is going to be stuck on very low HP for a while. Does get handed over the tangos by Boomboy and does have a salve in the stash right now. As Xavius again trying to punish. We'll go after Boomboy instead. The Shadow Demon will be able to retreat back towards that T1 bottom tower. But just so much damage is being dealt with this duo in the off lane.
It's really aggressive coming out from Polaris. Lots of play. We've seen this combination multiple times, and there's a reason why DP or Marcy is a first phase ban. Like, you don't want this combo to come out. Polaris does manage to pick it up, and they're putting a big dent on this lane. And Your Dream is still farming fairly well. So despite the aggression coming out, you're not quite stopping the Ursa from the build-up, but if they do eventually find a kill, that cuts off In Your Dream scaling a bit.
Here we go again, diving the tier 1 tower this time. Dispose is there. In Your Dream trying to Earthshock away. Disruption. No, the rebound. Xavius, he still secures the kill before he dies. This is a disastrous start for the Ursa as mid lane now. They're onto Alacrity on the Batrider. AU rotates on the Oracle to secure the Water Rune and helps pick up a kill on the Bat.
Yeah, I mean, they find Water Rune on Alacrity. It costs him his life. Definitely not worthwhile. Lelouch just going to have a TP bottle messenger in the form of Xavius. It's going to be feeling good. Jocam tries to go in early. I mean, you have, again, good rotation potential from the Shaker, but he's still level 2. And you're not quite fully leveled up on Alacrity to bully out. Lelouch has the EXP lead now. Every time he throws Shadow Strike, he's just going to be able to sustain himself in lane. And as long as he has Blink off cooldown, he's not under any threat here.
Xavius looking for an opportunity in the mid lane to go for a rebound to the Dispose plate. We'll just kind of let it go as they were too close to the tier 1 tower there on Alacrity, and Jocam was actually around to help secure the Water Rune. So the Marcy instead will run down back towards the bottom side as Lelouch now. Thought Jocam might try to go for a Fisher. Problem is Lelouch still has the blink up. He's got enough mana for it. Plenty of stick charges as well. Chances are you are not going to kill off this Queen of Pain. And so poor old Jocam, he's going to run back up towards the top lane as this Shaker. And it's one of those games, considering the bot and the mid lane have kind of already lost, there's really not much for the Shaker to do this game. Not until you hit the mid game now. Right, because for Jocam, he wants to rotate between the top and mid lane to set up kills, but he can't really do a top, he can't do a mid now. And to be frank, Mizu doesn't want him at the top lane anyway. He wants all the XP for himself.
Just wanting to rush into that 6. Does have the double bracer up, so it feels pretty alright for Mizu to tank through. Down bot is where the aggression's there.
Here we go again. Disruption's down. In Your Dream going to try and get some form of a trade onto Force, but their heals are out. In Your Dream, he cannot man fight against this DP as the Fisher, Jocam trying to help, but they'll just turn again with the sidekick. Here we go. Another TP rotation. Alacrity. He'll be around. You've got to find more than Xavius though. Dispose is there. The DP is out. Xavius, he'll happily die for this. He's more than happy to die for this.
I don't think he wanted to die. He was trying to rebound off, but TP was already out from Force. So Xavius is just kind of left for dead. He stood still for a bit. That's him trying to cast that rebound, for sure. And, well, it's not the biggest kill in the world. You drag in the mid Batrider. You open up so much space in the map. You don't really mind.
Alacrity. Get held down. AU now going a bit too far. Will get punished. Boomboy able to take that kill as now they've got the Quap locked down. Jocam not going to be able to hold on forever. Lelouch will be just fine to back his way out, remaining at the top of the CS board, right in front of Natsumi. And it's 3 heroes from NGXSEA in this mid lane to ensure that this Quap doesn't have her way with the Batrider. Lelouch, I mean, he might be keeping up in levels, but you've seen how easy it is once this Marcy does jump in with the rebound. It's just too easy to take him down.
Just so much give coming out, so much damage and control coming out just from Savius alone. It is getting pretty dicey for NGX. I mean, all top 3 net worth right now on Polaris. It's not a massive amount, just a 1k lead, but the core difference is piling up. And Natsumi, again, he's on a hero that farms fast. Once he dips into the jungle, if you don't contest his farm, he will just ramp up quick. Like, this Luna is just set to have a really good game with no one checking him.
Xavius chasing down in your dream. Doesn't have a rebound target to go off. Lelouch gonna see a courier. We'll take it from Boomboy. X's and pop by force. They'll have a look for Boomboy down at the bot lane. And the ghosts, I believe, have spotted him. Boomboy, he's gone. Disruption will be there. Buying himself a little bit of time, but he knows he is set to fall. And will to Lelouch. They take a very easy bottom tier 1 tower on the side of Polaris. NGXSEA. I mean, it's a very, very difficult start to the game number 2 for them. It seems like every lane has gone the way of Polaris Esports, and as that old saying, John, you win lane, you win game. And right now, they've won all 3 of them.
Yeah, they've certainly gotten that start to build it up. And they've got really good forward wards now from Polaris to cut off the front of that bot jungle. Like, 3 wards just watching this entire bot jungle. You do not have any room to farm here if you're Alacrity or In Your Dream. Gonna be tough for them to catch up, and In Your Dream still being stalked.
Yeah, by the tier 2 tower, forcing more rotations. They might actually have him. Mizu, he'll at least pop the arena, allow In Your Dream a way out, and punish Xavius for being in this position as they'll try onto the DP with the Fate's Edict. It's going to be there to try and heal up Force. He'll make a run for it. Spirit Siphon's out as well, but In Your Dream, he will chase him down to the ends of the earth. Force, can he actually make this run? He is trying. Boomboy will hold Disruption to make sure no TP attempt is going to be there. Force, still running. There's the Disruption. Set up for the kill. Take him out. In Your Dream, that would have felt good. That would have felt real good for the Ursa.
Finally find some revenge onto Force. They dive a little bit too deep onto that tier 1. They do force a lot of bodies down there. Again, freeing up top lane completely. Natsumi's still going to be enjoying this. Mask of Madness already flying out here on the courier. So the flash farm is just going to ramp up even further. And you are giving some room out for Lelouch to just keep playing tag mid. Working onto that Witchblade now on the Quap. It is still a very valuable kill for NGX, but their bot jungle is nowhere near any safer. Still 2 wards watching it. After a little bit of time, Polaris could just rinse and repeat and try again.
Double damage now for Lelouch. It's going to be a very nice pickup here for the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, just a constant group up around In Your Dream. NGXSEA really just keeping their supports around the Ursa, not allowing any opportunity for Polaris to move into that triangle. Even this early on, they're just that concerned about this Ursa having a bad game. Make sure In Your Dream does remain protected. Boomboy, he'll put his body forward to make sure any smoke is broken, and he's the one to tank the gank. Of course, Alacrity on that Batrider, we talked about it already, but considering the laning start he's had, he's got nothing. Brown Boots, Bottle, Windlace, that's about it. I think there's maybe a Boots of Travel coming out, and there is, so he's got the recipe on the way. But it's still going to be a very, very slow start for Alacrity, and you're not going to be able to rely on him to set the pace of the game here for NGXSEA. It doesn't really feel like anyone can really set the pace right now.
I think they've got to just work together as a unit. Maybe they can play off the back of Mizu and the threat of Arena. They are clumping up top. 3 heroes here to secure this push for the siege creep. Force is the only one showing up to try to defend. They already have a rough idea that he's there. Not going to be able to do much by himself. Does look they'll at least find a tier 1 to trade. Fortified to stall out a little bit more. And there is a smoking flank here.
Xavius, Lelouch gonna make their way over. Joe Cam, he's the only one showing. He does have Echo, but he'll get stunned up immediately. Dispose is there. Joe Cam, he could pop the ulti, but there's just no point. It won't do enough damage, and nobody's there to back him up. So another free kill to go the way of NGXSEA. Only positive being you do force a lot of rotations from Polaris up towards that top lane. But it seems like they want to go for the top tier 1 tower anyway. They have Exorcism up for Force.
They pop it. Not going to take too long to rip through that objective side of NGX, and they're not quite ready for a fight back. They're rushing this blink on Mizu. He's only about 40 gold away, but you don't want to take these engagements without that. You just want that clean initiation come true, and at least we'll be up soon. So sacrifice a tower to get that space out. But they
Shout out to
should
the,
smoke off the back of that.
Shout out to the boys and girls in production as well, Jonathan. Beautiful cam there on Natsumi. Keeping tabs of all the ancient stacks being farmed. This is every carry player's dream. Just to be able to sit there just farming. Oh, look at that. Even Xavier's TPing for a sidekick. What a support. You love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten so much room. They've left him alone for so long. There's no forward wards here from NGX. They can't stop that flash farm. Very reminiscent of game 1 from Natsumi with the Nagasaran. He's just got all the room you could possibly hope for. 6.9k net worth, 3k above, almost 3k above in your dream, around about 2k. In your dream's also trying to go for a farming build as well, going into the Battle Fury for the Ursa. I mean, if he expects a longer game, that can pay off, but that will stall the spikes and any play you can get from that pause 1.
I don't think they're intending on trying to fight anytime soon here in NGXSEA. The Battle Fury seems just fine this time around. It's the thing, right? Like, you've got to try and contest the farm of the Luna. The Fusel Blade probably not going to do enough this game, that's for sure. Considering how the lanes went, like, you're 5k behind, you need something. Alacrity, he needs so much time. He needs a BKB, he needs the Aether Lens, he needs the Blink. Force, top lane, is going to be there to defend the top tier 1 tower. It is very low in terms of HP, but he's still going to stick around. He's going to make sure they don't have an easy time taking it. And in your dream, he's not going to even try. He wants his Battle Fury up. He wants to hit that timing. He'll play it very safe and go right back to that Radiant Triangle.
And once he does have the Battle Fury, the farm pace can pick up, but I don't know, it's just like you're trying to equalize with a Luna who's already above you by nearly 3k. And like, it just feels like at this point you should just try to play around the timing of your Batrider and your Mars and connect with that. So have some earlier presence. At this rate, they're going to have to play like almost a 4v5 once they are ready to go on NGX's side. They've had this blink on Mizu for a while, but they haven't really grouped around the potential arenas. They seem satisfied with just playing like this, but they're not out farming at all. Like, as time passes on, you are just passively losing in terms of net worth here. Like, you are going to be directly above a Natsumi.
That's the thing. NGX, it doesn't feel like they can... They don't think they can fight at the very least. That's what it feels like. Polaris. They're going to set up again. Here's that mid-tier 1 tower. Lelouch going to jump in. Alacrity, he's in big trouble. On this Batrider, he's gone. Mizu, try to TP to help out with the arena. Now they found the Ursa. Oh, you might need that arena now. Mizu, he'll pop it down defensively, but it's not going to be enough. He's gone, and now Mizu goes down. And I think that's why they weren't fighting. Because they just get ripped a new one here, John. Under the Shaker, they found Joe Cam. That'll be another. It happens that quick. Triple kill for Force. It's just all off the back of the laning stage. You lose 3 lanes, this is what's going to happen.
It just feels like a waste. You got this blink timing on Mizu. You shouldn't be playing passively. Like, it's not that they shouldn't be fighting at all. They should be avoiding initiated first. And you have the best shot if you jump in, maybe catch a support or 2, even if you only catch one in arena. As long as you find some pickoffs, that's your way back. You go back to farming in the interim period, and you build up. And if you allow Polaris to play this game as they have been, they just get to dictate.
Lasso's out. Lelouch, he's messed up. He used the blink. Alacrity, he'll find a pretty big pickoff here. Your dream will be very thankful about that one. And there you go. That's what you just talked about. You've just got to make the initiations yourself here on the side of NGXSEA. So they are looking down towards that bot side. Polaris looking to defend the bottom tier 1 tower now. But there are 5 heroes around. Mizu doesn't have arena, but he does go for a spear back. In fact, never mind. The Fisher's there to set up. There's your spear back. Even the ulti being committed by Boomboy just to make sure. Hell, they'll commit the Echo. They are not risking anything.
They've got to find every single pickoff. And those are pretty big pickoffs. They can line up for the bot tier 1 if they really want to commit. Polaris are the ones that are just kind of spread out now. They do manage to hit this BKB timing on Natsumi though, and that's pretty big in the next engagement they might take when Eclipse is back off cooldown. Tower to take for NGX, their first tower to find on the map. Not the biggest in the bot tier 1, but certainly some much needed gold coming out for their side. Gold that will help build into Joe Camp's Blink, build into the BKB of Alacrity, every little thing one Every little kill counts. Still, Roche has opened up for Polaris, and after seeing all that commitment on bot, they know they have nothing to be scared of. Slam's on cooldown, Lasso's on cooldown. You've got all the damage in the world from Natsumi. They don't even need to pop the Exo for this.
Very, very easy Roshan, that's for sure. Natsumi, he's been just free farming the whole game. Now he's free farmed the Roshan. Off they go again. I think the key for Polaris, they must realize at this point, if we just stick as a team, they can't fight us. Unless it's the absolute perfect initiation, and even then, it's very hard to see it. Line's being drawn back up towards the top lane here. Polaris might even get started on that top tier 2 tower. They'll control the Radiant Triangle. They have Exorcism up if they want to pop it here for the tier 2. It just doesn't seem like they need it. I highly doubt they're thinking about high ground yet, but with the BKB on this Luna and Exorcism up, maybe you might consider.
I can fault them for thinking. They're so far ahead. They know that the Ursa is a non-factor right now. I mean, In Your Dream does have the Battle Fear. He's finding some farm. He is going into the Blink. That could allow a little bit more play, but it still doesn't feel like a massive threat onto Natsumi. They smoke out, they TP away, maybe try to find a pick off for the rest that are left behind, and Xavius, Force, and AU. But no one's showing just yet. Alacrity is farming forward part of the jungle here, though.
They are. In Your Dream, meanwhile, bottom lane, having a look at Natsumi, but he's going to back off the tree line while the rest of his team do start to connect down to that bot lane. In Your Dream, Boom Boy, they're not in position to break the smoke properly. Force, he'll move his way in. Boom Boy, he'll try to tank the gank, but Xavius is on the chase for In Your Dream, looking for that dispose. Is he going to be able to find him? In Your Dream will go for the man fight. Xavius, somehow still alive, pops a sidekick. In Your Dream, getting kited in and out, is going to drop. Way too quick. Is Alacrity. Oh, he's going to get caught. No. That's a triple. Natsumi. He's now farming heroes, John. Creeps have got boring for him.
Yeah, way too boring. There's a little flick from Xavius. He just popped sidekick, Unleash, got one round of Unleash off, and he just did so much damage. AU comes in with a false promise, stays alive. They don't even lose their supports there. Exo is gone, but you have a Luna. A push does not take long. Sidekick gives you basically double damage here.
It certainly does. Natsumi onto that high ground. So far ahead when it comes to net worth. Aegis up for another 2.5 seconds. Is going to back though. Maybe the tier 2 mid tower should be the objective here for Polaris. Still in the outer tower standing. Outpost taken. You can get the tier 2 mid and you can still go high ground. You've got 2.5 minutes basically on the Aegis. Plenty of time here for Polaris to try and really get full value out of this Aegis. NGXSEA, they want to try and force the fight though. They use that glyph. They don't want a high ground defense right now. Mizu needs that perfect initiation, but the rebound is there immediately. Disruption will buy a bit of time. Xavius looking for the dispose, not going to find it. Mizu, he's all right. Problem is, Natsumi, he could not give a crap about what's happening around him. He just continues to push in that tier 2 tower. Heals constantly flying out from AU, so he's always healthy. There's a tier 2 gone. They will not stick around for the tier 3 towers. Instead, it's back up towards the top lane. Address that lane. And maybe even find In Your Dream if he's not careful. But he will TP out immediately.
Yeah, plays it safe. Alacrity is showing though. Does have the travels ready. It's only Xavius really around here. But not going to be able to find that kill opportunity. 7-13, 10k lead out for Polaris. Natsumi having a wild time on the Luna. Again, very reminiscent of game 1 and his Naga, just how much space was given out. Manta style already done. BKB for In Your Dream is almost there. And that could be the timing where you can have more play. Alacrity as well is also working onto that BKB. It looks like his should be finished up though. So you should have at least 2 cores that can jump in without too much of a care. I believe Mizu is very close to his, just lacking the recipe now. And once you've got that triple BKB timing, that might be enough to catch Natsumi off guard. Like the physical output of the Luna isn't quite bursty yet. It's very good in prolonged fights, but It's not like you have a Daedalus up, it's not like you have a Butterfly or Satanic. You don't want to try to sustain yourself through the spell immune heroes. So NGX will have an opening once the triple BKBs are done.
That they may, John. That they may. Certainly something they need, that's for sure. Polaris. Still controlling that Radiant side jungle. NGXSEA, 11k behind, but they are finding a bit of farm on this Ursa. I still think the kiting is an issue, but like you mentioned, with the BKB up, maybe not so much of an issue anymore. Once it is up, that is. Because he is even working on towards the blink straight after. Does buy out the full BKB now on that Ursa. And once you've got the blink up, then I think they can really start to get active. It's Alacrity. Does get spotted by Natsumi, but of course we'll make a run for it. Doesn't want to deal with the Luna at the moment. There's that secondary BKB on the Mars as well. Mizu will buy one out. And props to NGX, John. They're doing a fantastic job of just avoiding Polaris altogether. Polaris move all across the map back up towards the Dire jungle. And NGX immediately TP and smoke out again. Trying for a sneak maneuver. Into the mid lane they go. It's a smoke on smoke situation. Who ends up striking first, though, is the question.
Smoke fades on Polaris. Don't have a re-smoke here as well. NGX are taking their time, though.
Polaris still holding that high ground. They're waiting very patiently. Fisher is there. That's a big target. Spear is back. Even Lasso being committed onto this DP. Where's the follow-up force?
What?
He's still fine. He'll pop the BKB. Where was the damage? They at least found Lelouch. In fact, in your dream, he's doing a lot of damage now. False Promise will be there, though. Force is going to survive through it. At least for now. They will keep charging forward. Polaris ultimately end up losing that fight. A 1-for-1, but you lost the Quap for a Mars. NGX, they'll be satisfied with that one, I think.
Yeah, it's a good pickup to take. NGX also did not pop as many ultimates as you'd expect. Lasso and Arena are down, but so is Exorcism, so is Supreme the Sonic Wave. The False Promise is gone. Eclipse is still handy here on Natsumi. You do have yourself a little bit of an opening, at least, especially once Mizu respawns. That could be the window where they choose to play. However, BKBs are down. So I think that will lead to future caution for NGX in that next engage. Alacrities is up, and he is close to the blink. So that blink timing on the Bat Rider is going to be the next big one. It looked like a pretty good angle for NGX. They get the spear back into the lasso. It's just, In Your Dream was cut off. Like, he did not manage to jump in, and without that physical burst on Ursa, you aren't taking care of something like the DP at this point. Force is just way too tanky.
Yeah. Well, Lelouch, at least it does get caught out, and that's still a big pick-off here for NGXSEA. Alacrity forces out the bot lane, immediate TP out. He just wants to see the TP back from Force. This has bought plenty of time now. In Your Dream getting closer to that Blink Dagger timing. Again, that's going to solve a lot of the problems he's having with that kiting. Just being able to jump right onto the target he wants, which is probably going to be the Oracle to get started. But if you can find something like the Quap or the Luna, it's even better. We'll see if it does pay off for him. I mean, this is something he desperately needs right now. As Polaris, they do hold on to that 9k advantage. Going to be very cautious now not to throw it back the other way, though. As we saw in that last team fight, NGX, they are certainly not out of it yet.
No, they've got a little bite left. And their power spikes are sort of lining up now. And they have yet to reveal certain things. Like Jokam has his blink. So you've got the blink slam. Another smoke out from the side of NGX. BKBs are ready to go once more. So this could be the opening they want.
Scotty's up, though. This is awkward timing now. Natsumi's got a decent spike on himself on the Luna. In Your Dream, he'll pick up the blink with that creep wave being taken down. Scan is not going to be there yet. Natsumi, he'll group up with his team. They'll run right towards that Radiant Triangle through the river. NGX, they've got a high ground advantage. This could be the team fight they want. But Polaris, they decide better of it. Back into the mid lane they go. GX just really wanting to have that perfect positioning. One team fight is all it takes to turn this game number 2 around. Especially with a Roshan in a minute.
They just need that opening. They've got good wards here. They know where Polaris has run off to near the pit, so they can always check if a sneaky Roche does come out, unless Polaris expends the smoke to get into that area. They will smoke up now, so maybe they'll be able to find the angle here.
Perhaps it's going to be a long wraparound once again. Trying to sneak into that Radiant Triangle from the back through the top lane. Oh, this could be successful as well. NGXSEA, they're not in position for this. Mizu, he might break the smoke, but no, they see him first. They haven't broken the smoke yet. Force, he does have his own smoke broken. Mizu, oh, he doesn't know. He'll pop the BKB. He'll go for a TP out. He's going to be okay. That's Exorcism completely wasted. Roshan's up in 30 seconds. Exorcism is down now. That's a big win for the Radiant.
Yeah, but you don't have BKB on Mizu. It's a trade-off here.
Nice Fate's Edict. AU gonna buy himself a little bit of time in the middle of this team fight as they do make the jump in. In Your Dream gonna try and take care of him, but a big Sonic Wave out. Lelouch right through 3. AU's gonna buy back into the team fight. And Alacrity is down on that Batrider, and In Your Dream's in big trouble. Getting taken down by Lelouch. Mizu, he's not out of the woods yet either. Lelouch, he'll keep chasing. Boom Boy, TP up, will make it. But now Roshan's up. Xavius and Natsumi, they ignored the team fight. They went right for the Roshan. They just had trust in their teammates to make that one work. That's unfortunate, John. That's without the Exorcism. They still end up losing it.
Yeah, it wasn't even a factor. And I think the big issue was that Mizu was so far away from that fight when they went for the lasso. They didn't manage to play with the arena. They didn't manage to get anyone caught out and pulled back. And now Polaris have a pretty good angle onto the high ground. There is still the slam for the high ground defense here from NGX. So you're not completely out of it. There are some plays to be made. Arena's still ready to go on Mizu as well. So you can certainly find an opening. It's just the game's very difficult to get that done now. 9-17, 15k lead. Natsumi has not been killed at all. 404. His farm's just ramped up like a madman, and the Ursa is just nowhere close. Even with that Battle Fury, he's been forced to fight around, and he's just not doing enough.
Mizu, BKB forced out. He'll go for a TP attempt, and is going to be fine. They don't have the Luna around to really get that damage they needed. Natsumi currently focused on the mid creep wave, just trying to get towards that high ground. Aegis is up. You definitely want to try and approach that high ground right now if you can, if you're Polaris. Exorcism, it's going to be up in 15. So good timing.
Yeah, timing's lining up. You do have the lasso ready on Alacrity. You've got the arena ready, so the defense is kind of set for the side of NGX as long as they connect together here.
Natsumi. Fisher. Oh, that's a really cheeky dodge from Natsumi. That's sort of mad to dodge on that Fisher. It's a tier 3 tower. Kind of not quite fast, but the glyph will be forced out. Natsumi, you'll get a reset here from AU. Beauty of having the Oracle right behind you. He's just going to bring you right back up to max HP. Boom Boy. All he can really do is go for that disruption. Fisher out once again. Alacrity looking for a lasso. Does find one on the Luna. Drag him all the way back into those tier 4 towers. That'll be the first life gone. Polaris, they are forced to fight now. This Luna is in dire straits as Natsumi's going to pop the Eclipse and the BKB and run. And with the false promise, they actually just retreat. AU, he's the one to get caught up by In Your Dream, and they'll leave him behind. Just let him die. Get everyone else out of there. And that they will.
Yeah, they fully retreat with a successful defense out from NGX. They lose a tier 3, but they stop the racks from falling, which is the key part, because Luna just melts through those racks so quick and can just open up way more objectives after the tier 3 falls. Xavius still with the invis.
Where are they going? Xavius, I suppose, is there. Alacrity pops the BKB. Look at the damage with this unleash. Run, Alacrity, run! Sonic Wave, oh, it's right on the edge. There you go. There's your Batrider down for 50.
And that should give Polaris enough time to just kind of reset. Same thing goes for NGX. They've been very patient in Jokam. He's not gone for any of these big slam plays. So that threat of the Echo Slam is still always available on the side of NGX. For Polaris, in their part, When they've got the full Lincolns on Natsumi, lassoing him back is going to be tougher, although you do have Lincoln's break up the wazoo here from Boomboy, so you shouldn't be too worried about that. Lots of single target spells to ensure Alacrity has a connection. But they need to coordinate more. Like, they do pull back single target hero as well, and they can pull and relocate one of these cores from Polaris away from the front line and punish, but everyone else is just kind of free to do what they want. You've got the full AC up on Lelouch, a lot tankier. Even the Ursa's not going to be able to instantly burst him down. AU's been on point with healing, and if there's anyone that sacrificed, it's almost always just him. Basher up on In Your Dream. That should mean that you've got some more play through the BKBs of Polaris on their side. But as long as AU manages to land a Fate's Edict, you're still not going to be feeling good there on that Ursa. Like, the disarm's just always going to be annoying, especially as your BKB's already down to 6 seconds here.
Polaris, they are still controlling the map very, very well. 16k advantage. And NGX just waiting for the high ground defense to come. Polaris, they're in no rush. They'll wait for the next Roshan by the looks of it. Still plenty of time away, but nothing wrong with playing conservatively here when you control the whole map. And you've got a Luna of all things, you can just farm the whole map. NGX, do they venture out of this base? Do they have to really wait that long? At least Jokam's trying to push out the top lane while he has a chance on that shaker. But the only person who can, Lakri will do the same down at bot lane of the Bat Rider, but yeah, just a lot of hesitation. They're very scared to show on the map at the moment.
Yeah, I think they just know that Polaris are that far ahead. They know if they take unnecessary risks, the game could just end. With how fast the Luna can rip through Grax into tier 4s, they might just skip the process of mega creeps here on the side of Polaris. Jokam's been doing a good job of cutting off without being punished, though. And he does just blink and TP away. Roche still 2.5 minutes. And that waiting game for NGX still has continued. I mean, they've got some big items to wait for. Refresh on Mizu could be nice, although has to be careful.
Mizu, BKB up, he does have TP and he will commit it. And without the Luna being around, you don't have the right-click damage to get through him through that BKB, but now Alacrity also being spotted. Another exorcism being popped by Force, but he doesn't seem too happy about this one. It does feel a little bit wasted. So Polaris, they might have to try and force the mid-racks once again because you did pop that ulti. Force will try. Range Rax is going down rather quick. Mizu, nice spear back. In Your Dream, he'll make the jump in. AU's there. The Force Promise once again going to keep Force perfectly fine as he just rushes right in. Mizu's down already. AU the one to take him out. Force with the Oracle right behind him. He's kind of unkillable. You just can't control him. Alacrity. Oh, Lincoln's broken with the lasso. You needed the lasso. He is down for a minute without buyback as In Your Dreams jumped in. There's your Echo Slam. It does literally no damage. No damage. The Faith Edict was there from AU. In we go again. Boom Boy, he'll get caught out. This is it. GG's called. In Your Dream, he has seen enough. NGX, they are not out of the qualifiers yet, but they are going to get knocked down to the lower bracket. And Polaris Esports looking fantastic in their first best of 3 series, taking a 2-0 victory against NGXSEA. And John, can I just say once again, AU has really impressed me today. This guy has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he has certainly stepped up as a player. Maybe in the start of Div 3, Div 2 Tour 3, it looked a little bit shaky in Tour 3 when he stood in for a little bit, but he's certainly in his element now. His heroes are in the meta. He saves in a very big way. And Polaris as a whole just shows massive improvements past the DPC. Again, this is a team that managed to drag Boom through 5 grueling games in Hatyai in Thailand. And they managed to get a pretty decent run in the ESL 1 qualifiers. This is a team that is now a contender. This is almost like Polaris back in Tour 1 or Tour 2 when they look very promising. And I think you have to watch out if you are going up against Polaris. NGX, for their part, I mean, it's been a rocky road for them since the end of the Deep Sea. It doesn't look like a lot of their issues have been sorted out, and we can see our scoreboard right here. Just how well Polaris played. They had a really free game on Natsumi. I don't think he died at all in this game and the last. I mean, he died once in the last game.